That was a really nice hit. Total distance of 314.6 yards. Beforehand, that was 289 yards to 314. Pretty big difference there. In today's video, I'm going to be getting you hitting the ball much longer, not just with the driver, in fact, every single club in the bag. Although in this video, we're going to be mainly focusing on the driver. We're going to be diving into some mistakes and a very, very great drill, great move that you can implement into your golf swing to see much more distance in your golf game. We've got TrackMan.io all set up with the most important numbers on the screen, being club head speed, carry, and total distance. So we can have a look at the before and after doing these changes that I'm going to show you and see how much distance that you can gain so you can hit the ball much further and longer in your own game. So for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Harry, PGA golf professional, transforming golfers worldwide, one shot at a time. So make sure you drop a comment down below with tips or drills, video topic you'd like me to cover in a future video, and be sure to hit the subscribe button if you take these tips and drills I show you in this video on board for your game. So what I see a lot of golfers do is when they take their address position, they have their stance width ever so slightly wider than shoulder width apart. And this is great for the irons 7, 8, 9, working your way up to those 5 and 4 irons. However, we're with the driver now. We've got the big stick in the hand. It's a much bigger, much heavier club to swing. So it's really important that we give ourselves a much wider stance. But before I do that, I'm going to show you the other two mistakes I notice players make in their golf swing. So the second one being the ball position. The ball position, I see a lot of golfers set up with the ball position too far forward in the stance. And when I say too far forward, I mean ahead of the entire foot or just in line with the toes, when in reality it should be in line with that lead heel. The third thing is something that players do when they actually make their swing. So when we have the ball position set very much so further forward in the stance, it actually encourages us to cut across the ball a little bit more. But also when we get this swing going back and through, the third thing players do is they get really rigid, trying really hard to make sure they get into the correct positions on the way back, but especially on the way down during that downswing phase. So they get very tense with the upper body to try and ensure they're giving themselves the best possible chance of making that solid contact, getting that correct upward motion with the driver, and therefore to see that distance and accuracy in their games. But this just makes it worse. So we've got ball position, we've got stance width, and we've also got that swing mechanic of getting too tense. So let's just hit a shot now just to see what the numbers give us with those three things implemented in our game. So ball position is really far forward in my stance here, not like I would usually have it. Stance width is slightly wider than shoulder width apart. I'm just going to make a swing now, pretty tense, trying to make sure I get into those certain positions that we want. I'm going to hit this ball as hard as I can. Let's see where it goes. The feeling is obviously from the arms with this one because of the tension I'm just going to generate in my swing for this one. Okay, so that one there you can see club head speed of 111 miles an hour. Okay, I really went for that one, doing those motions that I was just describing to you there. Carry distance of 266, total distance of 289. So we've got that basically to beat. So diving into the setup and how we can change those first two things then. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is at setup and the address position, I want to see a slightly wider stance. So to get this slightly wider stance than usual, I'm going to get you to set up first with the stance slightly wider than shoulder width apart. So when we set up to the ball, stance slightly wider than shoulder width apart, we're going to then take the feet ever so slightly further either side. I'm going to encourage at least 1 inch to 2 inches either side, just to help us get this stability, this balance back in our golf swing. And this is going to be really great for the swing motion. I'm going to show you the swing change to get you turning up into the top of the swing. So the second thing we spoke about was the ball position. Well, already just from me doing this, the ball position is set very much so now in line with that lead heel. So my left heel, as opposed to being on the complete other side of the foot. So here I'm just encouraging 1 inch to 2 inches wider either side with my feet. And then I'm just going to make sure that that ball position now is set on that left heel. Now the third thing, which was getting rid of this stiffness in the swing, getting too tense and trying really hard to get the club into positions. Well, the first thing we've got to be able to do is we've got to allow ourselves to get this lower body switched on in the golf swing, get this lower body turning up to the top of the swing and then rotating through to finish, getting this tilt taking place as well. So I'm going to give you, first off, we're going to start off with the club away for now. Hands are going to go either side of your thigh, set up in that new address position, of course. And what we're going to do is we're just going to allow this tilt to take place either side of your body. So we're going to go back and forth. If you're watching this at home on the big screen, you can do all these drills. So feel free to join me on this. So it's going back like this here. I'm just tilting over, aiming to get my head to tilt towards the left foot here. So imagine this is my backswing. Then for the downswing, I'm getting my head to tilt in the opposite direction. To keep it even simpler, this right arm is going to go up the right thigh, then it's going to go down the right thigh. And obviously the left hand is going to do the opposite. So right arm up the right thigh, then right arm down the right thigh. Bringing this now, adding the rotation into this swing, we're going to set up now, tilting over into our posture and address position. We're going to do the same motion, but allow this right hip, as soon as we lift this right arm upwards to get this tilt to take place, we're going to encourage this right hip to rotate away from the golf ball towards the wall behind me. So straight away, when I make this turn up to the top of the swing now, you can see that we've been able to maintain this lovely spine angle here as opposed to tilting too much upwards, but also it's very stable, very athletic backswing position to help us load up into the top of the swing and get more distance in our game. Then same on the way through, just the opposite. So as the lead hand goes upwards, we're going to get this lead hip, the left hip of ours, to turn and rotate away from that golf ball. So we're going hand lifting up, hip going away, the other hand lifting up, and the hip going away like so. Just back and forth, getting used to this new movement taking place, switching on this lower body as you can see, but also getting the upper body to relax and rotate back and forth and tilting back and forth as well. Now, just before I introduce the next bit, that transition move, I'd just like to give a little bit of a shout out to GX Golf, the brand new sponsor to the channel. GX Golf are a fantastic golf manufacturer that have come out just the last couple of years, fairly new. I've been using them for the last couple of months. I've been really impressed with the product. If you're sick and tired of spending too much money on high premium golf clubs, then you can get 3 GX golf clubs for a fraction of the price. You can get them in 3s, 6s and 9s, great bundle packages on their website. With my discount code as well, you can save yourself 10% off those using Harry10. I'd highly recommend checking them out. Links will be in the description below. Now this next move, we've got to allow for a little bit of pressure to take place from backswing to downswing. How do we get this transition correct in our golf game? Now, the majority of golfers that I notice, when they get very tense, they get tense as soon as they begin that downswing. Now, that's a problem that I've noticed with too many golfers, so it's really important that you get this step correct as well. So we've got this turn up to the top, turn back, and all I want you to do is when you get to the top of your swing, we're just going to add a little bit of pressure into the ground like this here. And when I add this pressure here, I'm not rotating my hip through, I'm not tilting upwards and through either, I'm just stalling the entire body. The entire body is not going to move at all, it's going to stall here, and we're just pressing into the ground like so. Almost as if you're going to lose a couple of inches of height doing this. Just adding more pressure into the ground, and this switches on this lower body ready to fire upwards and through to hit that golf ball. So the 3 steps, we're going to rotate and tilt up to the top, then we're going to press into the ground, feeling it slightly more in the trail side, almost like we're maintaining this pressure in the trail side. Then we're going to use this pressure from this side to fire upwards and through like so, getting this hip back and this tilting here. So it's tilt and rotate up to the top, pressure down, tilt and rotate up and through, and we can allow for a little bit of this push upwards as well from the ground. Imagine you're going to do a little squat jump. We're going down to push back up. So it's up, down, up, through to finish. So a great tool you can use to get this move correct is something called the downshift board. This gives you like a really good feel for what this is like just to add that extra bit of pressure either side. So you just place it on the ground like this here, pretty much in line with your target. You're going to take your feet as wide as you can on the board, starting off with the majority of the weight on this lead side here to begin with. Now we're going to be getting this tilt and rotation up to the top of the swing. Then we're going to be maintaining this pressure a little bit more on this trail side as we get that press into the ground, this squatting motion taking place. And as we push up from this side, we should be able to feel this weight being transferred from trail side to lead side fully on the way through. This just allows me, like I mentioned earlier, just to get this pressure, this feeling of, right, there's the pressure being maintained. Now we can push upwards onto this lead side of the body. So from here, we're going up to the top, press down, push up and through. So if you do get one of these, great, give it this a try, getting used to this, and then we can start to bring this in using the actual golf club itself then. So with the golf club itself, we want to be encouraging our arms and shoulders just to relax, so allow them to flop about, just do whatever they want in the golf swing. Make a couple of practice swings back and forth, wider stance, don't forget. New ball position in line with that lead heel, then taking those swings back and forth. So we're tilting and turning up to the top of our swing, rotating up to the top of our swing, really relaxing with the arms, getting this press taking place like so, and then pushing up and through. And you can see how much quicker that is making me swing effortlessly as well, because I'm not making any effort whatsoever there with my arms and shoulders. All is coming from the lower body, and the upper body is just getting that rotation and tilt taking place naturally in your golf swing now. But the problem is, I've had a couple of students recently try this, send me videos back on Skillist. You can check my online coaching out later on, by the way, as well. I'll leave a link in the description below. But they've sent me videos back going up to the top of the swing and almost getting this push and casting motion to take place as they try and maintain this pressure as they get this transition taking place. So we want to be ensuring that as you're getting this transition from backswing to downswing, that we are creating a little bit of lag, quite a bit of lag actually, just like the pros do on tour, because you'll notice them really extend through the ball, getting this lovely wide arc taking place after impact. And they do this by creating less room here in the downswing. So to be able to do this correctly, I'm just going to use my speed stick. You can get these from Golf Swing Systems as well. All the products I use in this video you can check out from Golf Swing Systems, and we'll leave a link in the description in there also. So I've got my speed stick here. This just helps me feel where the weight of this club is traveling. This is much heavier than a driver. So I'm going to imagine that this club has got a massive sack of potatoes on the end of it, just like this here. And what that's going to encourage me to do, we want to encourage that sack of potatoes as we get this pressure, this press taking place in this transition phase. We're going to encourage those sack of potatoes to fall over and try and touch the right shoulder. So we're just creating this little bit of lag taking place as we press down into the ground. So we're getting this lag taking place, and all I want you to do from there is just allow those arms as you push back up and through to extend like so. So we're just getting this turn and rotation up to the top, allowing the sack of potatoes to touch that right shoulder. If you really like that analogy, getting the sack of potatoes there, press in and really push and extend through the ball. So making a couple of swings in stages, just getting used to this, 5 or 6 of those, up to the top, down, allowing this pressure to take place as we're bringing the club head itself closer to the right shoulder, and then we're just going to push up and through like so. A couple more and then we're going to hit a shot to see the difference. Up and through like so. So I'm going to take the club now, driver, make a practice swing doing this all in one motion. So one practice swing with the driver, just doing this because it's a little bit light, just for me to get a good feel for this. Up to the top of the swing, rotating and tilting up to the top, just a little recap for us. Then we're pressing into the ground, allowing the sack of spuds to go over and nearly touch my right shoulder here. Driver head's coming close to the right shoulder. And then as we're pushing through, really extend on the way through. So all in one motion with the golf ball. Remember, I've got club head speed of 111.8 miles an hour to beat, carry of 266, and a total of 289. So let's see what we can do. That was a really nice hit. Very much so out the centre, really getting that feeling here of the club going close to the right shoulder, extending and pushing through. So club head speed was 124.9 miles an hour. So before that was 111.8, so massive increase there of over 13 miles an hour. Carry distance of 300 yards, big difference there as well, as you can see. Total distance of 314.6 yards. Beforehand that was 289 yards to 314. Pretty big difference there. So if you've come this far, I'd highly recommend hitting the subscribe button so you stay tuned to all the content coming your way every Tuesday and Friday. All the products that I've introduced in this video, the downshift board and the speed stick, you can get from Golf Swing Systems using the discount code SHORE5, saving yourself 5% off. So I'll leave a link in the description for those as well. And if you'd like more coaching personalized to your swing, I'd highly recommend you giving me a follow on Skillist. We can get in touch and see how I can help you improve your golf game. And you can check out any of these two videos here popping up on the right hand side of your screen right now. The top one talking to you a little bit more in detail about how we can get this lower body moving, initiating in the downswing even more so, and the bottom one talking to you in way more detail about how you can consistently increase this club head speed in your golf game and see much further golf shots like this one here. So I'd highly recommend checking out those two videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you very soon.